Welcome to part 2 of our required minimum distributions insight videos. In this video, we are going to talk about why IRAs do not have required minimum distributions. This is because Roth IRAs and Roth 401ks are funded with after-tax dollars, so the IRS has already gotten a cut. Roth accounts are great because you don't pay taxes on the money you take out of them in retirement, and you're not required to dip into them if you don't need to. Some strategic folks choose to diversify their tax burden in retirement by having a mix of Roth and non-Roth accounts. To calculate this year's RMD, take the account balance at the end of the previous calendar year and divide it by the distribution period you find on the IRS's Uniform Life Table. The distribution period is pretty much a nice way of saying the number of years you have left. Of course, because it's the IRS, there are exceptions that complicate things. If someone is the sole beneficiary of a deceased's retirement account, and that someone is the spouse of the deceased, and that spouse is 10+ years younger than the deceased, a separate life expectancy table is used to calculate RMDs. This is called the Joint Life and Last Survivor Expectancy Table. Other beneficiaries who need to calculate RMDs use the Single Life Table. Okay, so do inherited accounts have RMDs? The answer to that is yes. If you inherit one of the retirement accounts we just covered, or even a Roth IRA, you will have to take RMDs. The rules on these distributions depend on whether you're the spouse of the deceased or another, non-spouse beneficiary. If you're the spouse and sole beneficiary of the retirement account, you have several options. You can treat the inherited retirement account as yours and roll it over into a retirement account of your own, base RMDs on your age, base RMDs on your late spouse's age at death, and reduce the distribution period by 1 year annually, or withdraw the entire amount by the end of the 5th year after retirement, provided your spouse died before the age at which he/she should have taken RMDs. If your spouse died before reaching the age for RMDs, you can wait until he or she would have reached age 72 or 73 to start taking distributions. The rules for beneficiaries who are not spouses are different. If the account owner died before the beginning date for RMDs, you can pocket the entire account balance by the end of the 5th year after the account owner's death. Alternatively, you can calculate required minimum distributions based on the Single Life Expectancy Table. Alright, so let's look at the bottom line here. Do required minimum distributions sound too complicated? Are you considering taking your chances, skipping the RMDs and hoping the IRS doesn't notice? Not a good idea. If you skip taking distributions, or if you take distributions that are too small, you'll pay for it. So be specific. You will owe the IRS a 50% excise tax on the sum you should have taken in distributions. This applies to beneficiaries as well. So let's start taking RMDs to the list of things you have to do when you inherit. Thank you for joining us for the final required minimum distributions short video series, and remember to join us for our other retirement topic videos. For more information, or to better understand what your retirement plan could look like, take the questionnaire linked in the video description.